She brought the career advice. Now sit back and relax while you get advice that will take you to the next destination in your career or business. And now, Katrina Brittingham. All right. Welcome to another episode of High Tea with me. And you have my handsome co host, Dr. The Real Deal Love.
Hello, hello,
And
hello.
with that, we have a love topic. I remember telling you that part of having a healthy business is having a healthy relationship, having a happy home life. So
Hmm.
we are going to do our topic, which is
What is man capable of?
what is man capable of?
What is man capable of?
Yeah, if I could say capable, yeah.
Hmm.
Excuse me, today has been a long day.
Listen, remember we talked earlier. I said when you ready, jump in. When you feel like it, jump out. I mean, it's your show.
I just have
Jump
to
in,
explain to the
jump out.
audience every Monday, it seems like I'm tongue tied. It's the beginning of the week and it's always a lot. So by the end, I can't speak any better than a fourth grader.
Okay, all right. Well, the key to a great speech and public speaking, they said communicate so that a 5-year-old can understand you.
Then I'm doing great.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? See, you hitting it. You know what I'm saying? Simply because if the kids can understand, if you kids can understand it, then you're communicating.
There we go. So I communicate great with children. But with
Absolutely.
no further with no further ado, let's go on because we have a lovely guest that I would love our co-host to introduce.
Well, we have a lovely guest. She's going to share her story. I'm going to help her because um, tonight our topic is what is man capable of? And in a relationship, it takes knowledge. You've got to know who you're dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
what you're dealing with, and what he's capable of. We talked about that in our first show, Miss Katrina. That when you come to the table, you're bringing your entire life experience.
Mm-hmm.
We said everything. You bring in everything, all the baggage, all the luggage, all of the successes, all you're bringing everything to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight we wanted to just talk about what is man capable of, because one, let me just make sure I introduce my guest, and then we're going to bring her in. She says she just wants to be a part of it. Then we're going to bring her in. Um, this is Miss A. She's happily married. I brought her in because her husband told me the story, and when he told me how she spoke into his life, I said, "This woman understands her power. She understands what she's dealing with." Okay, and her heart is for other women to have what she has. She has a husband that loves her, a husband that adores her, and she went home to deal with some business. She had lost her father not long ago, so we our heart still is with you on that. And she went
Mm-hmm.
home for about a month. Then she went for another. Then she extended another month. Then I talked with her husband. He said, "Listen," he said, "I said I don't know if I can deal with wife being gone another month." So he loves her,
Mm-hmm.
and as I always say, I appreciate my godmother because my godmother said to me at 83, she said, I would still love to experience the care of a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? See, love never goes out of style.
Never, never.
It's never out of fashion. And there are a few women that will still say, no matter what she's gone through, yes, I've had some ups, I've had some downs, but I still want that love, committed, unconditional relationship. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what I need to talk about tonight. What is man capable of? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight I wanted to start out with the scripture. David wrote this in the Psalms. He said this here in Psalms 8 and 4. He said, what is man? He said, what is man that thou art mindful of him? And the Son of Man that you visit him. Now, in the CBS version said it like this here. He said, what is man that you remember him? And the Son of Man that you look out for him. What is he? David asked that question, and I like it because when I thought about it, started meditating on it, David said, I'm one of them. David said, I am man. I'm one of them. I am man. But David said, even though I am man, I still don't know what he is that God would be mindful of him and that you would remember him, that you would consider him, and that you
Mhm.
would always look out for him.
Yes.
David said, I want to know. David said, I want to know. And the reason that's so important, because I share with women, as you know, I am a woman's relationship empowerment coach. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
A woman's relationship empowerment coach. And we have our commercial for our conference, and I'm going to be present at the conference. But in relationships, I don't only deal with love relationships, I deal with your relationship with your business, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your coworkers. Everything in life is a relationship. It's about relationship. So when we talk about relationship, what is your relationship with yourself? See, it's not a put down for women because women don't know what a man is capable of. I
That's
tell
right.
women that all the time. She doesn't know what a man is capable of.
Hmm.
She said to me at a conference, I was at a conference, she said to me, Dr. Love, and I love her for this. I mean, women just get transparent sometimes with me, and that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. She said, Dr. Love, she said, I've been married to my husband for 20 years, and I really still don't know him.
Hmm.
You know, she said, I really don't know him. And that took a lot for her to admit that because, me in my younger days, I would have pretended, what I'm saying? I'd have pretended like I had it all together, or I would have made like, I knew it when I really didn't, you know what I'm saying? I would have pretended. But there was something about our connection that she said, I want to be authentic with you. She said, I want you to know I don't really know my husband. So when you said women don't really know what they're dealing with, she said that resonated with me. And she
Hmm.
said, really know my husband. And then I say to women, I said, that's not a put down because man don't know all he's capable of.
That's right.
See, men don't know all they're capable of. And that's the reason our guest tonight is on, and we're gonna begin to bring her in, is because as I was talking earlier, my job is to empower women to understand what a man needs, not what he wants.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What he needs. A man needs something to believe in. He needs someone to believe in because chances are he doesn't believe in himself.
Hmm.
And we as men, we don't like to admit it, and some of us won't even admit it. Okay, it's just something about men, like it's like the husband, it's like the wife told her husband, she said, "Honey, you don't tell me you love me." You know what I'm saying? She said a week ago by 2 weeks, she said, he said, you don't tell me you love me. I want you to say you love me sometime. He said, uh, he said, I married you, I love you. He said, and I haven't changed my mind. So that, some of us men, we respond like that. I mean, I married you, I love you. He said, and I haven't changed my mind. Just in case she was wondering, he didn't change his mind. Okay. But women want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? She,
Yes.
she wants to hear those things. And our guest tonight, her story is so powerful. Her story is so powerful because I'm going to set it up for you. Uh, Her husband, I know, she's a wonderful gal. And as we were working together, one of the things that he said, and tonight we're only going to scratch the surface. That's the reason I wanted to share with our listeners. We're not going to rush because I realize if you can get one idea out of the show, if you can take something away from the show to make your life better, one good thing that really settles in is better than 10 things that you juggle. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to really take this home. From the outstart of the coming together, he and I, we were talking, and all this is coming from him. He said, I saw her, I was interested, I let her know I was interested, and I gave her my information. He said, and she didn't even send me a text, let alone call. He said she didn't even send me a text. Now he said I think she playing hard to get. I think she playing hard. He said I think she playing hard to get. So he was trying to he was trying to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? And then I found out from her. She said, well, she just misplaced his number. So a week went by, 2 weeks went by, a long period of time went by, and she didn't make any contact. So he had to reach out again. And the thing that is so important that I share with women, I just had a lady that I was talking with last week. I tell my angels of love, because I call all single women angels of love. I said, if a man likes you, if a man is interested in you, I said, let him make a beeline for you. Don't have me guessing. All right. Don't have me figuring and wondering. Okay. All right. An angel called me. She said, Dr. Love, I was talking to this guy. He's still around. He said, I'm going to go home and I'm just going to cook dinner tonight. And he just left it at that. He just said, I'm just going to cook dinner tonight. What was I supposed to do? I said, invite yourself over. She said, I ain't that kind of gal. I said, I understand. You see, if he's interested in you, this is Dr. Love's rule. I don't back down. If a man is interested in you, have him make a beeline for you. Be clear, girl, I'm interested in you. All right, no guessing. No guessing. Okay, that's the way we roll it. Okay, so he made a beeline for Miss A, and he was coming a little unglued because she was so aloof. She had that attitude. I can live with you, I can live without you. It doesn't. Take him or leave him. Somebody say that's power.
Power.
That's power. You understand what I'm saying? So, as they make a long story short, they wind up getting together, fast forward and whatnot, and they're together. And the reason she's on tonight is because he left corporate America and he said, I want to start my own business. And he did. He's a hell of a guy, hell of a businessman. And this is what he told me. He said, I got into some trouble. He said, business wasn't doing like it needed to do. I wasn't accomplishing what I needed to accomplish. He said, I was several thousands behind in what I owed. He said, and I said to my wife, Miss A, he said, I said to her, honey, it's not working. I think I'm just going to have to go back and either get my job back or ask for another job. He said, I'm going to have to go back to the job. And here's what she said. And I told him, he don't know what he said when he told me that. And I told her, I'm not putting it down. I said, she don't know what she said when she said it. And this is what she said. She said, you will not go back and get a job. You will not go on another payroll. You will figure it out. You will stay out here. You will work your business. You will stay with your business. You will figure it out. And that's what you're going to do. I said, man. Man. So that's a powerful statement. That's the reason I want women to understand what is man capable of. See, he was getting off to a little rough start, but if you can dream it, he's
Hmm.
capable of producing.
Yes, he is.
He's capable. I tell women, I tell women, I said, dream your wildest dream, add something to it, and he can exceed it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
He can exceed it. God wouldn't God would not have allowed you to dream the wedding, the life, or he wouldn't have allowed you to dream it if it wasn't possible for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But if you don't know what you're dealing with, what is man? If you don't know what you're dealing with, chances are you won't get what you want. Because remember, you don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life what you believe you deserve.
Mm. Say that again.
Okay. You don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life what you believe you deserve. Okay. So without further ado, Miss A, I hope you're still with us. Come on in and say hello to us.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Hi, Dr. Love. Hi, Katrina. Such an honor
Hello.
to be here. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to speak to you both and your listeners.
Yes, indeed, and we're glad to have you. And we're not going to hold you long, but we're going to hold you as long as we need to. What
Okay.
what I wanted you to address, I wanted you to just address and see if you can just give us a little. What did you draw on when your man came to you and told you what he was thinking about doing? What did you draw on? Where did that come from? Talk to me.
Uh, okay. So it was quite a journey. So when he wanted to live corporate America at first,
Hmm.
I told him, "Are you sure this is the best direction for you to go in?" And he said yes. I said, "Okay, if you are, then go ahead."
Mm,
So while he was in his business, the reason why he fell behind the thousands of dollars is because he was not getting the receivables. Clients were not paying.
hmm.
Were not paying when they said they would, or paying on time, and he would pay contractors. So he got in a bind, and he was like, you know what? He was so frustrated, so tired, and was like, I'm going to go back into corporate America.
Hmm.
And I told him, no, you're
He, wa-
not.
he wasn't behind. Let me just jump in. He wasn't behind a couple hundred. It wasn't a couple $100. This was
No, it was thousands. Yes.
thousands. All right, that's what I
Yes.
understood. We ain't gonna tell you
Yes.
how many,
No,
but we're
that's what
gonna
I
tell you it
said.
was
I'm sorry if it
thousands.
wasn't clear. Yes. So, um, and he was very frustrated. And I said, and I told him no. One of the things that, from my perspective, I was so happy that he was living his dream,
Hmm.
and the fact that he took a leap of faith and he was doing something he loves. I just didn't want to see him give that up.
Hmm.
And I said I would support him however I can, and that, like you said, he would figure it out. And the very interesting thing, Dr. Love, is I want to share two separate incidents. So whenever he shares the reason why he's in business, I'm one of the reasons. The fact that I never told him to go get a job, or allowed him to go back.
Hmm.
And so he shared it, and
Patience
he's
experience. And I think it's a scripture is coming to mind.
I'm
He said,
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
oh, okay, I can go ahead.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so on Saturday, he was addressing some businessmen, and he shared this, what you shared, Dr. Love, how
Hmm.
I encouraged him to tough it out. And the good news is that his business is doing so well. I mean, I was just sharing that. I mean, in 1 month, he made what I made in almost a year. That's
And
how
one and
well.
one and one. in 1 month.
Yes.
Okay.
He made close to my annual salary in 1 month
And
last
one,
year.
and that's.
Just to give an example of how well he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever he shares his story, man, even though he may be doing a talk on a different on a on a different topic, the men tend to hang on to him saying I supported him more than anything else. And I started noticing that trend. I was just like, there must be something here. Why are the men gravitating towards something that is part of introduction that maybe lasts about 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
and disregard what may go on for 2 hours? And when they approach him at the end of the talk or presentation, they'll say, you should be so happy your wife supports you.
Yeah.
And I was like must be something here. And to be honest, it is truly God ordering and guiding my steps, because I was clueless. I didn't even know what I was doing,
I,
even
and
in terms of
let me jump in here because I just
yes.
wanted to, I wanted to just bring out the fact that when it comes down to just how well, the Bible says the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. And you asked him at the very beginning, he said, I think I'm going to leave my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave corporate America. And he was comfortable there. He could have made a decent living for himself there. But he wanted more. You know what I'm saying? And you asked him a question. You said, "Are you sure?" See that? See, that's just the wisdom of a woman. See, a lot of women second guess themselves because there's so much that's in her. There's so much that God puts in her. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's the reason. You and her, me and Miss A, we talk about this because one of the things that's so important is that for her to just kind of like share with her man what she shared with her, and she didn't know the impact. You didn't know the impact that you had on him, and that he'd be telling this testimony for years to come. Am I right?
No, I did not. And it impacts others so much. And it just honestly blows me away
Mm-hmm.
to see
Absolutely.
the reaction from other men, especially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the impact it's had on my husband, of course, naturally.
Absolutely.
And sometimes he'll say, you know, you have a really big part to play in all of this, you
Right.
know.
And
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like the fact that when he talks, and let me just share this with anyone. One of the things, if you want someone that a course creator, get in contact with me. We got a course creation program second to none. He helped me create my course and what I'm doing, my program for women. But what he says is, he says, my wife is my why. And that's important. That's important in business. That's one of the things that I learned from him. He says one of the things you got to have in life is a why. What is your why? Why do
Mm-hmm.
you wake up in the morning? Why do you stay up late at night? What is your why? Because I remember when I was talking with Les Brown one time, and I was honored to meet Les Brown privately one time. In fact, I was at one of his seminars, and he actually drove me home. You know what I'm saying? His chauffeur drove me home. So I was hanging out with Les, and he said to me, he said, "What is your why for living?" He said, "Because if you know your why, you can endure anyhow.
Right.
But you've got to know your why."
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I want to empower women with tonight. I want to empower women tonight with this. When a man says within himself, and this is the power that a woman is wielding. Most women, and remember, it's not a put down, it's just to empower you. Most women don't know the power that they're wielding. So the record that this man is playing in his mind that caused him to be able to figure it out. He said four words, and these are the four most powerful words that a man will ever play in his mind. She believes in me.
Yes.
When a man can play that in his mind, she believes in me. He'll move heaven and earth.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
you
he
know,
did a year's worth of salary in a month.
do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. The Tower of Babel. They were on their way to heaven, and God had to get involved because he said, lest I confuse their language. They may walk up on into heaven on me. What is man? What is man capable of? That's our theme tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What
And
is
and
man
I,
capable of? Go
I
ahead.
would just like to add to that, because what she did was so powerful. Like when she spoke that, it brought something in him. It brought a desire in him, like, oh, I have not, I'm going to prove her right. I have to now.
Mm,
Because she put this confidence. She was like, you gonna make it happen. So then he
mm.
was like, I gotta make this happen because she told me you gonna make this happen. I gotta make this happen. Guess what? Not for me, for us.
For us. You know what I'm saying? It's so it's so much, it's so much to actually bring women to this point, because a lot of women don't think they have a voice in his life. I beg to differ with you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a real quick joke that I thought was just hilarious. They said the end of time had come, and there was two lines going into heaven. There were two lines. One line was a line of men, and it was a long line of men going into heaven, and then it was another line with just one man. So we got this long line. Follow me now. We got this long line, all these men in this one line, and then we get the next line. We got one man standing in this line. So all the men in this line is like, why is he the only one standing in this line? All of us is in here. Why is he the only one in this line? So they said, well, let's go ask him. So they said, excuse me, all of us are standing in this line. They said, why are you standing over here in this line by yourself? He said, because my wife told me to stand in this line. The power of a woman and what she says. He said, my wife, I'd be in that line with y'all, but she told me to stand in this line. All right. Are you with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you with me? That's important. Okay. Miss Abigail, finish up. You had another story that you were going to share.
Well, before she goes to that story, we are about halfway through the show, so we're gonna break this segment up with a 30-second commercial, and then we're gonna come back for the next story, and we are gonna pay some bills.
All right. We'll be back.
The business and entrepreneurial world is full of talk. Talk, 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 talk. Enough. We take everything you've learned, leverage it, and give you the actual tools you need to put all the talk into your walk. Attend the conference that's all about action, strategies, and real ROI. Your executive GPS ticket includes access to seminars and workshops where you'll learn business financing, such as loans, grants, venture capital, and angel investors. Business strategies, human capital strategies, such as hiring contractors versus employees. Government contracts. Register today. www.theexecutivegps.com.
All right, we are back. That was the Executive GPS Leadership Conference. Yes, the Executive GPS Leadership Conference. So, for those of you who want to give your husband that boost and that pep talk, afterwards, he needs those tools and those strategies, and this conference will give him the strategies to exceed both of your expectations and make it happen.
I love that, to exceed it. I'm going to be there. I encourage everyone listening to get your ticket to come. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing a workshop. My workshop is called How to Succeed in Business and Love, because you want to succeed. You don't want nothing missing, nothing broken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about that, and we're going to get into understanding the science of achievement
Yes.
versus the art of fulfillment.
Yes.
So you're going to be blessed. Okay. All right. So enough said. Get your ticket. Be a part. All right. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. All right. All right. Miss A, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. She's still with us. I know you're ready, but I wanted to just share another aspect of your heart is we have talked because there are women out there, and I believe that this is why I'm doing this work. A woman said to me, she said if you ever doubted if you're doing the right thing, she said don't doubt it. She said you are absolutely doing what you were called to do. That's what a lady said to me. And I think it's my 30 years in the salon and working with women to really understand women because there's women that's in her life, women that she knows of that is looking for love, would like to find love, and yet and still they're dragging their feet, not really kind of like just saying, just laying down the gravel. Yes, I want to find true love. Yes, I am ready for my man. You know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of women that kind of like hold back on themselves. And her and I, we were talking about, well, you can't get frustrated. You can't get antsy because it takes a lot for a woman to come out of herself
Mm-hmm.
and begin to share the intimate details of her love life. The missing, it takes a lot. Okay. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to deal with just kind of like just helping women move into this space where she starts getting comfortable because
Mm-hmm.
someone I'm working with is a successful woman, and oftentimes rather than enjoying the success and still wanting her personal life, we'll go over and overcompensate in our business and pour more into our business rather than having the balance and saying, yes, I am successful in business, but I do want to I don't want to go get lost in my business. My business is my all in all. It's my everything. No, no, it's the balance.
Yes.
The balance. Okay. You want to be able to come home. You want to have a hard day at work, ladies, and put your time in. And you want to come home and say, honey, I'm home.
Yeah.
And he gets the bathwater started,
Yes.
or he cooks something, or the music is playing. Sometimes my wife would come home, I have her favorite music playing. She said that was some good jazz you was playing. You know what I mean? Just creating atmosphere. Honey, I'm home.
Yes. Create
Okay,
that atmosphere.
create. You understand what I'm saying? And I want to encourage women. I want you to start encourage. I want that. I
That's
want.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I want that. Yes, I want. Start practicing wanting that. Start practicing getting that out there. It takes a little doing. My middle daughter, who's she's on the launching pad. She's ready for marriage. And here's what she said to me. And this is Dr. Love. When you get Dr. Love, uh, you get the real deal. That's the reason she the one who gave me the name the real deal. Here's what she said to me. She went off to college and she did whatever she did. You know what I'm saying? When kids go to college, they do what they do. I don't know, but she went off to college. And here's what she said to me. She said, first of all, when I was telling her I was gonna be Dr. Love, she was like, no. She said, no, ain't no father of mine gonna be Dr. Love. No, no, no. You know what I'm saying? Because it has a connotation like Dr. Love. But she didn't know my perspective is that all healing takes place under the auspices of love. That's the reason I'm Dr. Love.
Mm-hmm.
Healing has to take place in order for the relationship to thrive. So what she said to me that was so powerful, she said to me, she said, when I was away at college and I was away at school, she said, I did things my way. She said, now I'm going to do things your way. And she was telling me she had a guy that wanted to take her on a date last week. And she said, well, there's no real fire. She said, but I'm going to go. So she went on a date, nice restaurant, good time. She said she came back home after the date. She was getting out of the car. A guy pulls up, I kid you not, and says, I would like to take you out. I mean, guy just pulls up. He just pulls up. You know what I mean? I would just like to take you out. Then she was out yesterday. She said a guy asked her, guy said, listen, he said, I'd like to text. He said, I'd like to text you. Well, let me tell you the real story. My grandson cuts lawns, and he was giving her the number for my grandson to call. He asked, he said, Joe, you still have my number? She said, no, I don't just keep numbers. I gave it to him like you told me to do. He said, I want to text you and ask you something. See, men are men are starting the attraction. You understand what I'm saying? She said, I almost forgot to tell you, I got home and a stranger drove up. She's in the last 3 months, she's had three men, perfect strangers, that came up and said, I would like to take you out. And she said, I said no. Before I even thought about it, she said no, and he drove off. She said, I didn't even think about it. I said, that's why I'm working with you, because I want you to be present
Mm-hmm.
and connected.
Mm-hmm.
See, you were present, but you weren't connected. So your automatic nervous system just kicked in. You want to tell, no, 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 I don't want to go. I don't want to go out. No, you know what I'm saying? Slow down, baby, slow down. We slow down. Oh, wait. You know what I mean? You might want to go. You might not want to go, but have the conversation. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So men are orbiting her now. So now I'm just kind of like trying to slow her down and get her position so that she can begin to move and groove. You know what I'm saying? so
But
Miss so Miss A has that kind of heart because she has friends that we're working on that wants that's looking. They're looking for what she has, and her heart goes out. Miss A, go ahead. I want to hear from you. Go ahead. What were you going to share?
So, in terms of friends who are successful and still single and looking for marriage material, um, I remember after my experience and meeting my husband, when I met him, I can't say I was attracted to him. I just knew he was a good man. Like that was the first thought that entered into my mind, into my heart. I was like, he's such a good man.
Mm-hmm.
And I left it at that. I didn't think he was for me, but I was just like that's how I felt. And everyone who comes into his presence picks up on it right away. He's very humble, he's very loving.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a little rough on the edges,
Mm-hmm.
but just naturally being with him. Of course, initially I tried to force my way into making him into this image I had,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't the right strategy. But just
Mm-hmm.
letting God work on him and focusing on working on myself and his focusing on working on himself,
Mm-hmm.
he just turned into this amazing husband. Like I could not have asked for a better husband. Could not. I mean,
Mhm.
when I'm with him, I feel like I'm by myself, just but with just joy and happiness and gladness.
And
And
let me just jump in because you said one time he's not even my type.
right. I mean, he color clashed. He the way he walked, I was just like, I mean, yeah, it was very interesting. But
Mm-hmm.
he was
Yeah.
so himself. He didn't pretend to be anything that he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so because of my experience, I encourage women. I said, don't look for your husband or your spouse through your physical eyes. Look
That's right.
deeper. Look
You hit.
deeper. Have God
Yeah.
open your eyes so that you can really recognize him. He may not come in the packaging you expect. He may not be the height you would always envision, or the complexion, or maybe even have the career you imagined. But if he has the good character, he's God fearing,
Yes.
he's caring and loving, and you can build something wonderful together. Those are things that you may not see immediately,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and it takes God to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way God works is that he even exceeds your expectations,
Yes.
you
That's
know.
the thing.
Right.
Yes.
Miss Katrina, with you and I both being a songster at heart, the song that comes to mind is "I'm gonna make you love me." Oh,
Mhm.
Isn't that
I
something?
love it. I
Out,
love it.
out of all those things, and this is another one of Dr. Love's quotes. The man of your dream doesn't exist. The man of your dream is created by your participation in his transformation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Notice the second half. Your participation in his transformation.
Yes. And one of the things that stuck out to me that she said, because I have that mentality and that mantra, but it was so key and it seems so small. As you work on yourself, God will work on him.
Mm.
And so even when someone that comes that's not your type, I'm in the amen corner, Miss A. Um, it
Amen.
may not come wrapped in the package that you were expecting. Because we have built up our expectations as women, for whatever reasons about things, that God will send you the perfect person for you with the perfect gifts and the perfect attributes and that character. I
Mm.
tell people character take you a whole lot farther than money and looks.
Mm.
And after a while, you can have someone that everybody thinks is the most beautiful and they have a rotten character. And when you look at that beautiful face, it's not so beautiful.
Mm.
So those are the things that you need to consider. And also, like you were saying, Dr. Love, being a part of um, the transformation
Mm-hmm.
and how just with Miss A, when I see it as this, she spoke life into that man, into that business, and into their future and into their relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because how many relationships have been broken when a man said, because she stopped believing in me?
Mm.
So you have two sides of the balance
Mm-hmm.
here. It's not always just, oh, she didn't love me, oh, she cheated. One of the main things I hear men say is, I knew it was over the day she stopped believing.
Stop believing it.
Because they could not walk into that house anymore and have that look. It's not even disappointment. It's a look of, she just doesn't believe that I'm going to be able to do
Yeah.
this.
Yes. Yeah. 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 See, men like to go, and it's just not enough time to go all over. But I just wanted to give women this thoughts. Men go where they're celebrated, not tolerated.
Exactly.
See, you want to go where you're celebrated. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you gotta have the right man. I started saying to the women around me, I said, that's your king. I said, that's king. The girls around,
Mhm.
she said, call him king. I said, call him king. She said, my God, that's my
Mhm.
king. You know what I'm saying? When you call a man king, his chests are enlarged. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
His territory enlarges. He gets a certain walk about himself. He starts looking down at his kingdom. Things
That's
start
right.
things start happening when the king shows up, and that's the power that he has. All right, Miss
Mhm.
A, back in your hands. I'm having fun tonight.
Good,
If y'all
good
notice.
word, Katrina and Dr. Love. Good word. Um, so, just to add on to everything you both said, the one thing that I keep hearing, and I think I should share, is that having harmony between life, business, even with you talking about business and love at the conference, it brings stability. You know, when the home front is flourishing, it trickles into other areas.
Mm.
Um, and one thing that I had wanted to share too is that my husband to this day says I still play hard to get. He feels like he's still chasing me. Um,
Mm.
and again, this is one of those things that I've done without having a clue. Um, you know, I mean, he has to fight for a hug every so often, and he's like still making me chase, still making me chase is what he'll
Oh,
say.
Lord. Yeah.
But we, it's like we keep things fresh. We We set aside time for each other, which is so important. Marriages need to be very intentional. People need to be very intentional about their relationships so that they continue to flow and stay beautiful. It's like water. When water sits for a long time, it
It
starts
gets
not producing
stagnant.
life.
That's right.
Right.
So, but if the water keeps flowing and it's refreshed, then beautiful things come out of it. So I just want to encourage people to think about um, building and creating, setting the tone and the environment. All these things have been said already tonight. Um, but I'm just finding that we can't just say, oh, this is what we've done. We'll always do it this way. No, do new things, fresh things, and
And that's
grow.
something that's something that your husband said to me one time. We were doing something and we were talking. He said, oh no, Dr. Love. He said, I can't do that. He said, that's date night. He said that's date night. You understand? You see? So he's aware when he's transacting business, setting up appointments.
Eh,
He knows he said, my wife and I, we have date night.
That's right.
Nothing nothing comes between me and date night. Okay? Because
and
the structure of business, the structure of life is God first, family second, business third. Okay? It's God, family, business. And that's why you've got to have the right woman. You've got to structure the family right because the family understands the importance of business. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And in business, you know, your temperament, your ability to handle and solve problems, because that's what business is. Business is solving problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the greater your compensation. You've got to be able to you got to be able to solve problems. You know what I'm saying? But if you're carrying your problems from home to the business, from the business to the home, and you know what I'm saying, the, the business the business is not growing like it should be, like it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so important to have family life, home life together. It doesn't happen overnight, but you've got to have that set aside time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was talking with someone, and like I said, it's work because this individual is starting to date, and I was saying nobody's too busy for love. I'm busy. You know what I'm saying? I got things I'm doing. Katrina, she's busy. She's got things she's doing. I mean, I got a lot that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But I'm never too busy for love. My wife just asked me yesterday. She said, "Why don't we go Wednesday to see the what is it?" She said, "Let's go see Esther up at the in what is it, Reading somewhere." You know what I'm saying? So she said, "If
sights
you
and
have some,
sounds.
yeah, Sights and Sound. Thank you. Yeah, Sights and Sound." So she said, "If you have something to do, I understand." I said, "Listen, I ain't got nothing that important. I could change some things around. I move some appointments. I do what I got to do. I'm never too busy.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Never too busy for love."
Here's one thing. My brother told me a long time ago. I think I was in like high school.
Hmm.
He said, number one, if a man wants to be around you, he'll make the time.
Mm,
And he
mm,
was like, and if a man wants to be in your life because he's there, you
mm,
turn around, he's there. Like so that when a man is putting in the effort, you can tell that all that, oh, he's playing hard to get. Actually, no, he's not. He's not playing.
mm.
He's not playing.
He's not playing. So
And when you know he's not playing, then you can stop playing and wasting your time and go to somebody who actually is going to show up.
that is that is so true because you know I was saying like this here. You can tell when people don't really know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I did a survey. I asked women. I said, have you ever taken a course on men? One woman said, I don't need to take a course on men. I know everything I need to know. I said, well, if you're an accountant, you've taken courses, you've taken classes. If you're a lawyer, you've taken classes on it. You know, okay.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to understanding man and knowing what's really going on, men know when you really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you really he know when you really don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean, he ain't gonna say nothing. He said she don't know what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? But when when she knows what she's doing, it's like her. It's like Steve Harvey said when he saw Marguerite. That's an example that I always use because Steve was always so transparent that with that. He said when he saw Marguerite, he said I couldn't breathe. He said life stood still when I saw her. Okay, and that's one of the things that I share with women. When a man sees a woman and she ignites, I'm not going to tell you right now, but she ignites that thing in him, he makes a decision about everything. A man makes a decision about the woman that he's going to spend his life with. He makes that decision in 5 seconds of seeing her. All right, and I'm gonna be having going to class if I say any more. I'm not going to say no more. Uh, uh, but Mrs. A, talk to us a little bit more about when when it comes down to your husband and how you handle him. Okay, give us some of the things that you do in terms of handling him. What comes to your mind? What are your thoughts?
Okay, so one of the scriptures that came to mind is how God instructed wives to respect husbands
Mm-hmm.
and for husbands to love their wives, and honestly, just speaking to him in a respectful way, no matter what it is. For instance, if I want to discuss something very, very, maybe that may not, I don't know how he'll perceive it. I
Mm-hmm.
usually will will look for a time when it's peaceful and quiet and calm, and I'll take his hand and I'll say, "There's something I want to talk to you about." And then I usually will get his full attention, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "No, no, it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing." And then I'll just go into whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
But so he's learned that there are certain ways I will hold him or touch him when I
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about maybe things that may be a little maybe challenging or tougher to discuss or whatever it may be.
Mm.
Um, and so, but he's so receptive, and usually he's like, "Oh, is that it? That's
Mm.
all," you
Mm.
know. And I'm like, "Yes, that's it," you know. But I think it's just the approach, and then there was something else I wanted to share.
It'll come to you when it comes to you. Just let me know. But that's such a good point for a man to know how to handle a woman, and
Mm-hmm.
for a woman to know how to handle a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And believe me when I tell you, she will teach you how to handle, and he will teach you how to handle him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you've got to be open. You've got to be open. You've got to have an open mind. I said this last week, and I'll use this example all the time. You know, some people have minds like concrete, and like concrete itself is always on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
The key to success is to have your mind open like an umbrella. An umbrella is only functioning when it's open.
Right.
When the umbrella is closed, it's not functioning. It's not in use. It's of no good until it's open. Now, when it's open, now we've got the umbrella serving its purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
that so it's important for men to open their minds, for women to open their minds, to know how to handle her, to know how to handle him. This is one of the quotes out of my book. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow.
Exactly.
If you allow it, he'll treat you that way.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow it, she will treat you that way. Okay? It's all according to how you what you allow. And you and women, uh, with women being in the position that she's in, a woman has to be clear on what she wants,
Mm-hmm.
what she doesn't want. And get this, I was counseling a couple and I asked the woman, I said, did you demand what you want? He like, she demands what she wants? I said, listen to the definition of demand.
Mm-hmm.
To demand from your man or demand from your husband means to ask with proper authority.
That's right.
You see? So as the woman that you're considering in your life, I'm not asking just as some floozy on the street. I'm not just asking, you know what I mean? I'm a woman in an authoritative position in your life.
Exactly.
So I'm asking with the right authority.
Right.
Okay. So that's demand. I didn't say boss them around. I didn't say boss her around. Like, get over here. You know, we didn't say boss around. We said demand. All right.
Right. And it's having the proper using things in proper context. A lot of times when people use words, especially in our country, we use the word and people think it means something when it means something else.
Mm,
And so, like you said, asking with authority, I can ask you, and I'll have the confidence to ask you because I am the woman of this house, just like you're the man of this house.
mm-hmm,
And you have the ability to ask with the authority for
mm,
things that you want and need. And if we do it in that way, instead of I demand,
mm,
you'll get a better outcome.
mm.
And sometimes, like my grandmother said, you got to sprinkle a little sugar on those words,
Oh, oh, oh.
just a little bit,
Just a little bit. It's
just
not
a
what you
smidge of
say.
honey, something like that, for the men and the women.
Oh yeah.
Because ain't nothing like when a man knows how to use a little bit of honey on those words.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And that and that's one of the things that I started practicing. You know, after my wife and I will have a household exchange. You know what I'm saying? And she's a little angry. I said, I still need a hug. I'll still grab her sometime. You know what I mean? Girl, I still need you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just just so that we don't pull off into this with a hostile. You know what I'm saying? See,
Hmm.
let not the sun go down
On your wrath.
on your wrath. You understand what I'm saying? See, so to practice, a better me makes a better you. Miss A,
And I
did you
just have to cut in because we have 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Miss A, Mrs. A, did your thought come back to you?
It did, but I want to share something else.
Go ahead.
Um,
You got 60, you
so
got 30 seconds actually.
okay, so what I wanted to share too is that yes, the woman may be the one who really runs the house. Um, what I've found recently is that people will say, "Oh, Miss A, I'm so glad you allowed your husband to do this or to do that," and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" So
Mm,
it's so interesting how, depending on what it is, people thank me without me even saying anything, and I'm like, "Wow." So I know I'm kind of like circling back to the beginning in terms of what I shared,
mm.
but thank you both so much for having me on tonight. And Dr. Love, you did something that was so inspirational for your wife for your anniversary not too long ago. And that really touched me and my husband. Maybe you'll share in the next segment if you haven't
Okay.
already.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will. Thank you. Thank you once again. You are definitely an example to women all over the world. Remember, the man of your dreams, the man of your life, believe me, he's closer than you think.
Yes. And don't forget to invite us to the weddings.
Yes, absolutely. The wedding, the weddings are so important, and we definitely want to make that a part of the life. We want to make that a part of our lives. So, saying thanks again for having me. I am what you would call the woman's empowerment coach. I am Dr. Ed Johnson, aka Dr. The Real Deal, because I give women the real deal, and it's time.
Yes. And he is also a speaker at the conference. So come and get your advice, get your business together, get your relationship together, and let's be about it and get venture ready. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye for now.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of High Tea with me. To be a guest on the show, contact us via email info@ventureready.net. Thank you again and see you next week.